A disaster that happened in 1934 is still impacting Wrexham to this day. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Season 2, Episodes 10 and 11 of Welcome to Wrexham. Gresford was the worst mining disaster in the history of Britain. 266 local men died in the mine explosion, and tragically, many of them were Wrexham fans who would swap shifts to watch the game. The Wrexham shirt I'm wearing has a coal look and pays tribute to the town, and the year 1934 is on the back of the shirt. The disaster impacted the entire town and local area on a socioeconomic level. Wrexham AFC's history is intertwined with mining. These tough working conditions led to football's growth in the region. These men were working long, hard hours, and football was an escape from the reality of the day job. Miners earned very little money, and they were paid the morning of the disaster, so their earnings were with them in their pockets in the mine forever. Coal mining was one of the only jobs in the UK around the turn of the 20th century. It took many years for a memorial to be built because the mine's owners wanted to avoid punishment for unsafe working conditions. The Gresford disaster and resulting trauma clearly still impacts life in Wrexham all these years later. Rob McElhenney and his dad are in town learning about the history of Gresford and mining. They have some family history of their own. Rob's great-great-grandfather was a miner in Scotland. Rob and the ownership want to honor the local coal mining industry with the new cop that they're rebuilding at the Racecourse ground. He also talks about the connection that his dad and his community had to people who were killed in Vietnam, and how people who were killed in the mine were from a similar working class background. Rob and his dad discuss the challenges of modern life, like defogging a lens to shoot a Hollywood documentary, and how that pales in comparison to what people used to have to do. If you're wondering why there's so much local pride in North Wales and Wrexham for this football team, this is a big reason why. A Welsh anthem, Ima Ohid, which means we're still here, has been adopted in memoriam and signifies the town is still here and hasn't forgotten its roots. It's 20 minutes into the episode before we even get a lick of football. It's the Gresford Memorial match, and even though Wrexham win the game, I get the feeling that the individual result is not that important in the grand scheme of things. It was a powerful episode and very emotional. On to episode 11, Yn Codi, Wrexham versus York City. The men are 2 points behind Notts County with 5 games remaining. The women are battling for promotion, having already won the league. We left off after episode 6, Ladies First, which has been renamed to Ballers. We get a glimpse of what will happen when Wrexham holds Connah's Quay at the Racecourse ground and set a Welsh attendance record for women's club football. Sean mentions that Wrexham want to become the best women's team in Wales. The women are excited, but Rosie Hughes says it won't feel real until they see the fans at the stadium. Fair enough, they're used to playing in front of a few dozen or a few hundred rather than a few thousand. I can tell that the women's team is taking off. Wrexham sold more than 4,000 tickets in a week. Mia Roberts is nervous, but her dad Neil says he's probably more anxious than she is. Lily Jones is both nervous and excited. Lily recognizes how important the occasion is because this is an opportunity for young girls to see their heroes play on the big stage. She's walking to the stadium, following the same path she would take with her dad Gareth. It's definitely going to be an emotional day for her and her family. It's the first competitive match for the Wrexham women at the Racecourse. They're hoping to make it 12 wins from 12, which would be the first 100% record for a Wrexham side, men or women. Rob and Ryan are both in town for the occasion. Wrexham take an early lead, and the crowd goes wild. Perhaps there were some nerves because they conceded an equalizer almost immediately after. Mia Roberts came off the bench and did her best to get the crowd going. 80 minutes gone, and it's still 1-1. Wrexham need a hero, and who steps up? Of course it's Rosie Hughes. Hughes scores the winner, Wrexham win 2-1, and it's 12 wins from 12. It's a very emotional day for everyone, and I'm glad they got to experience the occasion, especially Lily and Mia. We get a reminder about the pyramid structure of the Welsh Women's League, and how Wrexham need to win the playoff in order to get promoted. Humphrey explains that they need to win the playoff to keep the momentum going, and also to make sure they can keep their best players, who are drawing some eyes from teams higher up the league ladder. The playoff is a one-off game against Britain Ferry at a neutral site. It's a very tight contest with both teams defending well. An individual error allows Rosie Hughes to get on the ball and burst down the wing past 2 players. Hughes delivers a cross, and Rebecca Pritchard bundles it past the goalkeeper. Gemma Owen admits that Wrexham were under pressure for the whole game, but even more so for the final 20 minutes after the goal. Britain Ferry are turning up the heat, but a heroic display from Wrexham goalkeeper and captain Del Morgan saves the day. Wrexham win and are promoted to the Adoran Premier League. Gemma Owen bursts into tears. You can tell how hard she works, and it paid off. The players are celebrating, and it's great seeing their efforts come to fruition. Yn Codi was the episode title, a Welsh phrase meaning rise. I didn't put it together until the end of the episode. Now both Wrexham teams have earned a promotion since the documentary started. Let's see how far they can go. What did you think of these 2 episodes? Weigh in down below.